You know, today I want to talk about time. Nobody seems to have time. Everybody's under a time constraint because of this or that or that or that. And, it's funny. Since I've been disabled, um, I found I don't really look at time. Time is obsolete to me. Sometimes we could say, oh, I've been working on this so long, I didn't even see where the word time flew. Well, that seems to be life for me, not just because, being disabled and not going out or, much and all that, but it's more than that. It's, I don't have time constraints. I'll work on something until I'm either tired or burnt out or whatever, but I don't look at time the same way. I guess because there is a time lapse, so to speak, a reboot, like when you go into when you're in a coma, when you have a devastation of some kind, when you are out of it, and you come back, it's like a new beginning. We've always said the Drainager community that you have a second birthday. When you wake up from your coma, when you wake up from a devastation, you have a second birthday. But that reboot can happen for anybody. It's that reboot and looking at the fact that I can take a half hour to work on this or an hour to work at that and accomplish more in the half hour sometimes, or accomplish more in the hour. You know, when they say even time flies when you're having fun, because you're not looking at the clock. You're not looking at your watch. You're not looking at your phone. You're looking at the situation, people. I don't have to have anything in front of me to be content. And I'm not nervous about people calling me and this and that. I don't go on social media so much anymore. This, yeah, sure, to talk, but even Facebook, I peek in, but I don't long to be there so much anymore. There's so much more to life than just being on social media. I just wish more people would want to talk to each other one to one, in person or on the phone at least, than everybody texting. It's more convenient, but where are the people? Where are we? We have to have people to live, to survive, to thrive. That's what I look at life. And when you don't have people, you're not growing as much as you could. You're not interacting. You're not sharing with another person to hear another opinion. And yes, sometimes that's bad when it's all negative. Like on social media, it's all negative. Everybody seems to be having a gripe or attacking you or taking you apart. I get that. I That's a whole separate issue because they don't have to be face to face. They don't have to be one to one with you. They can take you apart because they're seeing it in print and they're like, oh, and bam. But that goes back to people's insecurities and issues. And yes, they'll throw it out on you sometimes. It happens. It's a matter of what you're going to do with that. So, but time is so precious. I've never really seen how precious it was, though. When things take a lot of time, it's like, oh, it's taking this long, especially if it's boring. But it's what you have after it. So, I, time to me is a gift. You know, Sometimes I know when we enjoy things, we wish we had more time. But, you know, everything takes a certain amount. So, when you look at how the time capsule goes, when you look at how kids grow up, how people change, how people age, how personalities change. And sometimes you don't even realize how much has actually left, how much time has actually gone by. And sometimes it could be exactly the same as it was. Say you get together with somebody and it's been 2 years, you could still be on the same level, same, because you go right back into the same mesh. But time to rush on the street, to break the barriers of speed just to get to a stoplight, that I see happening more and more because people don't give themselves enough time to get ready. You know, anticipating that stuff. I used to get ready and have still a half an hour to go, maybe 15 minutes to my last job. So, making allotments, taking the time, it's actually a promising good thing because you're sometimes with rushing also, you don't take that deep breath and you don't get your mind set and focused, and you can get yourself into a accident, into more of a problem by not planning things out and not having enough time to go and rushing. You know, we slack sometimes. You get into the car, I gotta go from A to B, I gotta get there now, I gotta get there on time, blah, 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 blah. But you don't pay attention to what's around you. You don't pay attention to every little detail that, because you can't predict other people. And then when you get there, you're still hyped up. And that hype stays because that's what happens usually when you're stressed. If you have some kind of stress going on, it gears and it builds and it moves and it continues to go until you explode. That exploding could be road rage. Exploding could be when you get to work and you don't predict it. If someone hits you the wrong way, bam. So you can avoid a lot of different things going on by simply taking the time out to take your time and to listen and to not react. But it's hard to control that when, say, you're tired, or say you just are not focused because you are not in the now. You're just concentrating on where you need to go and what you need to do, but not right now. What am I doing right now? That's another big problem. This all goes together though, time and being in the moment, and because we're in such a rush society, we're not taking the time out to say, hey, you know, I need to accomplish this, I need to do this. So it happens. It happens to a lot of people. It happens to me. If I have to rush, and if I rush, I get jumbled up. I can't. I have to set my alarm for extra time to make sure I can eat, or at least get something in my body in the morning. Make sure that I'm not rushing anything, because that extra stress throws me off totally, and that's part of my brain injuries. So I almost have that set mode to not jump. And other people don't have, I could say, a luxury like that, though it's not really a luxury. It can be in certain situations to be able to take a deep breath, take the time out, take some extra time to accomplish. When you're at work, you have deadlines. I get that. And you have to break things down and see what you can accomplish, what you can't accomplish, and the whole soup to nuts. It's nowadays it's so stressed. Everybody seems to be so stressed and on edge. But I'm gonna have to tell you a secret. It also has to do with what you're picking to eat. It all, yeah, everything kind of comes together, because when you eat things that fuel your stresses and fuels your your emotions. All that stuff comes out. If you say eat something sugary and then go out and go, okay, I need that extra fix, I need that extra boom, that extra caffeine, I need that, and but it could work against you too, because all those other emotions go blam. So it's keeping a balance. You know, yoga, fantastic. Meditation, fantastic. And again, biofeedback, I've loved biofeedback for stress. That is spot on for when you have stuff subconsciously, even it gets it out, it gets through. And you know, today's society, we're so jumbled, and you know that talking to somebody about things is a good thing. Not getting meds for it. I mean, talking it out, getting it out, that's the first step. I mean, we've talked about meds before, and depending on what kind of med you're on, it can work against you. It can make things worse. And even the symptoms you would think would get better, and if you take too much, it could get worse. If your body gets used to it, it can get worse. You could feel you're going downhill when you're not. It's all the medication. So it also dumbs down your abilities sometimes, your cognitive abilities, your that instinct does get dulled because your brain gets dulled. I mean, I was on Topamax for, oh gosh, for years, since 2001, since 2000 and, actually it was 2001, then I have migraines. And after that, I went on Topamax because they were coming out like um, seizures, but they weren't seizures. It just was never diagnosed. I had to find that to figure them out. But even a neurologist was fighting with me, telling me they weren't. I was like, okay, and I got a name for them of what do I were, to being psychogenic seizures, because those aren't. They're again recognized by the Epilepsy Foundation, but they're not real seizures. But I've overcome that. I got off of the Topamax. It's been a year, over a year now, and now because getting your emotions in tow is a huge thing. It really is, and I didn't realize that. I didn't really look at it. I was looking at the stresses. The stresses were everything on me because of, well, my limbic system not working right, but stress can hit people in so many different ways. But again, food's a factor. It really is. And digestion. Because if you're not feeling good inside, cognitively, talking 101, responses, everything's different. That agitation comes out a lot more, and people can hear that, even though you don't intend it, because something inside isn't right. So that it goes back again to being a well-oiled machine. It's amazing. But I know there's a lot of content in this and keeps going around, but everything hooks together. You know, we can change our stresses, our everything, just by taking that deep breath and looking at the situation. I know it's harder, it's easier said than done, but I came from not having those running thoughts when I woke up from my coma for a year, and being a zombie and being just present but not present, and gaining back emotions. They're full now. It's 2018. This is since 2001 that they were dulled. And then when some came back after a year, it wasn't everything. Every piece that has come back is a gift. And so I look at the world a lot different than a lot of people do. So gaining things back compared to having them and not realizing what gifts you have is two different things. And I couldn't change life at this point because everything hooked on. Every single event I finally see hook together and really have molded me to who I am now. But that's what everybody needs to find is what's your story? And that's my next video.